Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Disturbed, Steffy ejects Finn, Luna's father reconciles with Poppy? According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester and John Finn Finnegan have faced significant challenges in their marriage, but they have consistently emerged stronger from them. But it's possible that Finn and Steffy are preparing for a relationship crisis that could genuinely destroy them. When it comes to breathtaking news that will completely shock Steffy, the clock is ticking. Finn is now the frontrunner to be Luna Nozawa's biological father after Jack Finnegan was ruled out as a potential father. It might be discovered that Finn is a paternity match because the writing is on the wall. Naturally, B&B hasn't told the entire tale yet, but it's plausible that Poppy and Finn's shared residence caused their desire to flare. There was no blood relationship because Finn was in his early college years, therefore he was legal and might have slept with his adopted aunt. If Finn fathered Luna, how would Steffy respond? Steffy might be repulsed by the fact that Finn has never brought up sleeping with Poppy before, in addition to being uncomfortable with the whole situation. Furthermore, Steffy would undoubtedly rather that Finn's secret daughter be anyone else. In Steffy's view, Luna could as well be a miniature Sheila Sharp because she killed several people and imprisoned Steffy in a cage. The fact that Steffy had to put up with Finn's birth mother being a terrifying nightmare was already awful enough. The fact that Finn's daughter is also one might be too much for Steffy to handle. It's safe to assume that Steffy will not believe the good transformation that Luna is promoting. Will Steffy send Finn packing because she could find all of this intolerable? Although Steffy might evict Finn from the Cliff home, a potential replacement love interest might be in the works. By the end of it all, Poppy might be reunited with Luna's father, so perhaps Finn will look to her for solace and a fresh start. In either scenario, our forecasts indicate that Finn and Steffy's happy bubble will explode soon. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna's paternity might completely alter Finn and Steffy's relationship, so we'll keep you updated on all the drama. Luna's father revealed that Poppy was forced to disclose having a tryst with Finn. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Lee Finnegan is adamant about her ex-husband Jack Finnegan cheating on her with her sister Poppy Nozawa. Lee is adamant about proving that Jack is the father of her niece, Luna Nozawa. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Lee Finnegan's accusations shocked Jack Finnegan. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Lee has already established that Tom Starr was not Luna's father. Lee has now claimed that Jack is Luna's father and accused Jack and Poppy of having an affair. Jack and Poppy have both disputed this, but Lee doesn't think they're telling the truth. Will Poppy have to tell the truth? During her time at Jack's place, Poppy never mentioned hanging out with him. Nonetheless, John Finn Finnegan and Poppy have discussed their happy dance from his undergraduate days. Will Poppy have to come clean about having an affair with her nephew during his college years? B&B spoilers, is John Finnegan the father of Luna Nozawa? Finn and Luna grew up as cousins. But either Poppy didn't know or wouldn't reveal who Luna's father was, so no one ever found out. In any event, Poppy had hoped that Luna's father was Bill Spencer, but that was also untrue. Poppy and Finn apparently spent a lot of time together before Luna was born and while he was in college. There's no doubt that Poppy doesn't want her sister to know how close she was to Finn in those days. Jack and Poppy, however, have both denied having sex together. Jack had a sexual affair with Sheila Sharp. Despite when they brought Finn home, Jack lied to Lee, acting as though he and Lee had adopted him despite though Finn was actually his biological child. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, John Finnegan would be startled. Finn had always thought of him as Luna's cousin. Naturally, Finn was not related to Poppy and was adopted into the family. When he was in college, Poppy and Finn clearly loved each other's company. But Poppy didn't want Finn to get disinterested in school either. Poppy was always there to lift Finn's spirits and prevent him from overstudying. For years, Poppy has been taking happy pills. Since Poppy lived with Lee and her family, it is reasonable to presume that she used the same kinds of narcotics. Is it possible that Poppy and Finn got high together and ended up sharing a bed? Maybe Finn doesn't recall having sex with Poppy, or he might think of himself as Luna's father. Will Poppy come clean and acknowledge that she had an affair with Finn and that he is the father of her daughter? Steffy's anniversary, Lee's mystery, and Finn's revelation. According to Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful, a teaser clip for the week of January 27, 2025, has been made public. John Finn Finnegan is likely to have a revelation on Luna Nozawa. Lee Finnegan is committed to unraveling the enigma of paternity. Additionally, Taylor Hayes and Ridge Forrester talk about Steffy Forrester Finnegan's impending wedding anniversary. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Spoilers for Steffy Forrester Finnegan's wedding anniversary on The Bold and the Beautiful. In the preview clip, Steffy is seen maintaining her friendship with Ridge and Taylor, according to B&B Spoilers for the week of January 27th. Steffy smiles as Ridge and Taylor remain near each other. Taylor suddenly remembers that the anniversary of Steffy and Finn's marriage is approaching. Steffy expresses her excitement about spending time with Finn. Naturally, something occurs that causes their marriage to fall apart. B&B Spoilers, The Mystery of Lee Finnegan. Fans will see Lee provide Finn with an update regarding the paternity test during the week of January 27th. Finn might be surprised to hear that Lee harbored bitterness toward Penelope Poppy Nozawa and Jack Finnegan for an unfulfilled affair for years. Lee was so certain that it would confirm her suspicions that she even used a needle to stab Jack. Lee discovered, nevertheless, that Jack is not Luna's biological father. Hearing about everything that has transpired may surprise Finn. The fact that Jack is not Luna's father will please Finn. Lee makes a valid point at the same time. The identity of Luna's father remains a mystery. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, John Finnegan's revelation. According to previews for the week of January 27th, Finn appears to make an epiphany when speaking with Lee on The Bold and the Beautiful. Finn probably keeps his true feelings from Lee. Finn first asks Poppy a confidential question. Finn insists on finding out Luna's true father. Finn seems to be quite certain that Poppy is the answer. Poppy asks Finn why he is asking these questions rather than responding immediately. Is it because Finn realized he might be Luna's father? Spoilers for B&B for the week of January 27, 2025. Fans will also witness Luna letting Bill Spencer know that they understand one another next week. Although it doesn't appear to be manipulation this time, Luna sincerely wants to assist Bill. Could this be Luna's opportunity to receive answers and receive atonement simultaneously? Will Steffy and Finn become at odds as a result of Luna's shocking paternity reveal? Updates and spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful hint that Luna Nozawa's bombshell paternity disclosure could have disastrous repercussions. It might cause friction between Jack Finnegan and Steffy Forrester if, as is assumed, he is her biological father. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn Finnegan never sees a break. The fact that his biological mother is the notorious Sheila Carter is difficult enough. But things could become worse if it comes out that Luna is his half-sister because of his father Jack's romance with his Aunt Poppy Nozawa. We looked at the different ways that several of the show's characters find Luna's parentage important. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, will Luna's startling paternity disclosure put Steffy and Finn at odds? Her living arrangement with Bill Spencer adds to the complexity of her numerous relationships. After all the work they've put into re-establishing a solid and stable marriage, Finn may find his relationship with Steffy in jeopardy if Luna's paternity is revealed. B&B Spoilers, Finn Finnegan took a long time to discover his relationship to his birth mother. Finn spent a significant amount of last year and the year before delving into the mystery surrounding his relationship with his birth mother. Despite Steffy's suffering, he persisted in this pursuit. We can sympathize with Finn's struggles, but it's also understandable why Steffy felt uneasy about her husband being around Sheila. After all, Sheila had tried to kill them. This is exactly why Finn and Steffy's relationship is so seriously jeopardized by the paternity issue around Luna. Finn will probably feel obliged to comprehend Luna's position in his life if it turns out that she is his father's half-sister. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn Finnegan would like to assist Luna Nozawa. She would become a half-sister instead of only a cousin. Given that Jack is likely trying to have her released from prison, Finn would naturally want to help her through her difficulties. All of this may seem noble at first, but remember that Luna drugged Steffy and kept her in a cage, almost killing her. Steffy obviously disagreed with Finn's desire to keep in touch with Sheila, leaving her to die when her apartment complex was demolished. That ultimately caused him to break off his relationship with her, so it's conceivable that Steffy would ask Finn for the same thing in regards to Luna. Spoilers for B&B, Finn wouldn't see Luna the way he sees Sheila. Because they are related and he has watched her grow up, Finn will feel compelled to assist his cousin, who is now his half-sister, when he sees that she needs it. Since they have a history together, it seems doubtful that Finn will disregard her. Steffy, Sheila, and now Luna won't be happy about this. Finn has 2 murderers in his family, so keep that in mind. While it makes sense that Steffy would not want her husband to associate with someone who attempted to hurt her, it is difficult to imagine Finn not making an effort to assist his new half-sister. We just need to wait and watch what happens, since this could be the moment that their love ends. It was a peaceful, tranquil night, the kind that usually comes before a storm. Jack Finnegan and Luna's mysterious mother, Poppy, were seated at a corner table in a dimly lit cafe on the outskirts of Los Angeles. Their voices were quiet but urgent. Jack had not expected this type of encounter when he contacted Poppy to inquire about Luna's background. But as the discussion progressed, it became evident that long-buried secrets were about to come to light. They were unaware that they weren't alone, though. Ever the master of opportunism and manipulation, Sheila Carter lingered just beyond the shadows, her presence undetected but her ears tuned to every word they spoke. With her hands clenched around a hot cup of tea, Poppy sat uneasily. Ever calm, Jack leaned forward, his eyes sharp. His voice was low but firm as he replied, "Poppy, I need the truth. No more evasion. No more evasive responses. Is Luna really my daughter?" For a little time, it appeared as though Poppy could crumble under the weight of the question that hovered in the air. Nervously, she looked around as if looking for a way out, but there was none. Jack refused to let her go until he received the answers he had sought. Sheila was instantly intrigued from her concealed point of view. Jack's tone conveyed that whatever information was about to surface would be explosive, yet the mere suggestion of Luna's paternity was enough to keep her interest. Sheila leaned closer without making a sound, her thoughts already spinning with all the ways she might take advantage of this. She lived on having leverage, and she wasn't going to allow this kind of secret get away from her. Poppy let out a harsh sigh, her shoulders hunching as though the secret she was carrying had finally been too much for her to handle. "Jack," she said, her voice shaking, "I never wanted this to happen." Jack's patience was wearing thin, and his jaw tightened. "I never wanted Luna to be caught in the middle of all this chaos." "Stop making excuses, Poppy. Tell me, please. Am I her dad?" Poppy paused and looked down at her hands. After what seemed like a lifetime, she finally said something. "No," she said in a voice that was almost audible above a whisper. "Luna's biological father is not you." Jack's face lost color as the words sank in, and the realization struck him like a freight train. "What?" With a tone of incredulity and rage, he inquired. "Who is her father if not me? Who is it, Poppy?" Poppy's eyes were shimmering with unshed tears as she glanced up at him. As if she couldn't contain her emotions any longer, she blurted out, It's Finn. Finn is Luna's father." Sheila's breath caught in her throat as her eyes widened in horror. Even she hadn't anticipated this turn of events. Was the father of Luna her son Finn? The ramifications were astounding. She soon saw that this insight may both transform Finn's life and provide her with a means of re-entering it. Sheila became a grandmother once more if Luna was Finn's daughter. A sly grin appeared on her lips as she started to think of a strategy. Jack, meantime, was in shock over the information at the table. "Finn? How on earth is that possible?" He raised his voice and demanded. "Why didn't you inform me earlier? Why did I believe she was mine?" As Poppy attempted to explain, tears started to fall. "I believed I was shielding her," she remarked. "Jack, you don't get it." Finn was unaware. "He is still in the dark." Jack shook his head, his incredulity swiftly turning to rage. "I couldn't risk it. Keeping her safe?" he spat. "By deceiving her? By deceiving me?" Poppy, this is a betrayal. I could have spent years with her and learned the truth, but you have cheated me out of those years. Poppy's cries only served to increase Jack's rage, but Sheila felt it was time to make her presence known before the argument got out of hand. Her trademark sneer was definitely in place when she emerged from the shadows. Well, 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 she muttered, her tone brimming with sarcastic laughter. Isn't this small family get-together intriguing? Both Jack and Poppy looked at her in disbelief, and their faces soon changed to ones of alarm. Jack clenched his fists and hissed, Sheila. Why in the world are you here? Sheila disregarded his inquiry, concentrating all of her attention on Poppy. So, Finn is the father, huh? She replied in a tone as informal as if they were talking about the weather. I believed I had heard it all. Poppy turned pale, clearly afraid of Sheila. She trembled as she said, Sheila, this isn't your business. However, Sheila only made a low, threatening sound as she laughed. Oh, she continued, but it is my business. Remember that Finn is my son? Luna is therefore my granddaughter. Or, for convenience, have you overlooked that small detail? Jack moved forward as his defensive nature took over. Sheila, you must go, he stated firmly. No. Sheila, however, was not going to be intimidated. She raised her hands in a gesture of simulated submission and whispered, calm down, Jack. I'm not here to stir things up. At any rate, not just yet. When I heard you two discussing paternity testing and secret information, I couldn't help but listen in. It resembles a real-life soap opera. Sheila was unmoved by Jack's look, which might have sliced through steel. Her eyes narrowed as she returned her focus to Poppy. Have you not been telling lies to everyone? She made the accusation. Lying to Finn, lying to Jack, and most likely lying to Luna as well. Poppy, TSK. You know, secrets tend to come out. Poppy appeared to want to vanish, her terror of Sheila overtaking her. And when they do, the consequence is never beautiful. Jack, however, had no intention of giving Sheila the upper hand. With a low, menacing voice, he declared, you won't use this against us. I will not permit you to. Sheila grinned broadly, her self-assurance unflinching. Oh, Jack, she remarked in a tone that bordered on condescending. That is not for you to decide. We're talking about my family, therefore I have every right to be involved. Whether you like it or not. She then pivoted on her heel and left Jack and Poppy to deal with the shocking revelation she had just made. Poppy drew a trembling breath as the door shut behind her, her poise eroding. Her voice was hardly audible above a whisper when she declared, this is a disaster. Jack remained silent as the implications of what they had just discovered raced through his head. His daughter was not Luna. Her father was Finn. Sheila was now aware of the reality. None of them had anticipated the tempest that would follow this discovery, which would alter everything. The fact that Finn was Luna's father had already rocked Steffy Forrester's life, but the damage reached its climax when she learned of his entire depth of his covert relationship with Poppy. She was broken by the deceit, the complicated web of lies, and the violation of trust, not simply by the fact that Finn had a kid with another woman. Steffi's dismay and anger were evident the instant she faced Finn. Her eyes were full of tears that she would not let fall, and her voice trembled as she demanded answers. Desperate to clarify, Finn attempted to piece together the reasons for his silence, but his words were insufficient to quench Steffi's fury. With a harsh tone, Steffy muttered, you lied to me. You told me falsehoods about Poppy. Regarding Luna. Almost anything. Finn, and for what? So you could conceal this significant aspect of your life while playing house with me? Finn stumbled as he tried to comfort her, but all he said made Steffy even more irate. I assumed we were partners, she added, raising her voice. I believed that we were constructing a future together. However, it turns out that I have been living with a stranger. Finn tried his hardest, but his explanations fell flat. He talked about his perplexity, Poppy's choice to keep him in the dark about Luna's existence, and his own efforts to manage the nuanced feelings associated with their circumstance. But it all seemed like excuses to Steffy. She was shocked to learn that the man she trusted had concealed such a significant fact from her. She finally stated, "I'm done," in a stern and decisive tone. "Finn, I'm at my breaking point. You can't bring me into your mess. Leave." Finn was slapped by the comments, but he knew better than to protest. Steffy was determined, and the consequences of his errors forced him to pack up and go. He knew that his actions had lost him the life he had established with Steffy, and he was filled with regret as he left the cliff house. Finn believed he had closed the door long ago, but it was beginning to open again. The only person who seemed to really get the chaos he was going through was Poppy, who had been on the sidelines of his life ever since the paternity reveal. They had a shared history that bound them together in ways Steffy could never comprehend, despite the complexity of their past. For her part, Poppy had a mixture of want and remorse. She had long concealed Luna's paternity, but now that it was out, it was hard to deny the bond she once shared with Finn. Poppy understood right once what had happened when Finn arrived at her door that evening, his shoulders hunched and his eyes full of fatigue. "She expelled you, didn't she?" Poppy asked in a gentle, empathetic voice. Unable to think of anything to say, Finn just nodded. Poppy moved aside to make room for him, and with every second that went by, their unsaid understanding grew. Finn opened himself to Poppy as they sat together, expressing everything from his own feelings of failure and loss to Steffy's angry reaction. Poppy's presence served as solace and a reminder of their earlier lives before they were so complicated and riddled with deceit. With remorse in her voice, Poppy said, "I never wanted any of this to happen. However, now that it has, perhaps we have an opportunity to resolve the issue. For Luna's benefit. As well as for ours." Finn's face was unreadable as he gazed at her. A part of him wanted to deny the possibility, to cling to the dream that he and Steffy could still be together. However, a part of him that was pulled to Poppy and the family they could start with Luna couldn't help but question whether this was the right course for him. Steffy struggled with her own feelings across town. Even though she was furious, she was also feeling agony that was threatening to overwhelm her.